What's going on, guys? Welcome back. It is August 24th at 6 o'clock, right on the button. I'm gonna fish for about 2 hours. My primary goal of the evening is to catch a couple fish on lures I've never fished before. One of which being the smaller size Whopper Plopper. I finally caved and bought a couple of them. And this Rapala DT Fat One, I think it's called. It's just a shallow running crankbait. It only runs down to about a foot. It is quite windy, so I'm thinking the Whopper Plopper is going to be a little bit challenging. I'm sure I'll probably be throwing the spinnerbait a lot where it's so windy, but we're going to get after them and see if we can find some fish. All right, so what my plan is probably to try to get this crankbait out of the way first. I'm counting on the wind dying down a little bit. So I think I'm gonna try the crankbait first. See if I can get any attention on that. What I did is I paddled about a couple hundred yards and I'm shaded on the shoreline here and I'm out of the wind a little bit. So I'm hoping I'll be able to get this Rapala out of the way and the Whopper Plopper out of the way. This Rapala doesn't have as much vibration as I thought it would. It's a big crankbait. I mean, it's a big solid crankbait. There's just very little drag on this thing. All right, so that's about 20 casts with this Rapala shallow diving crankbait. I am going to throw a white spinnerbait a few times in this area just to make sure I didn't miss anything with that crankbait. I really thought I'd get a hit off that, but didn't even get a touch on it. Oh, fish. That's a nice bass. I pretty much casted that crankbait right in that same spot. Oh, that's a nice bass. That's a nice bass. I'm gonna drop my anchor pole. Okay, so first fish of the evening came off of a spinnerbait. I threw that Rapala crankbait right in the same area that I caught this guy off of. And he didn't hit that crankbait for some reason. Threw in that white spinnerbait and he was on it the second cast. So that's kind of what I'm gonna do this evening. I'm gonna throw that Rapala shallow running crankbait a few times and I'm gonna go through that same area with a spinnerbait, just make sure I didn't miss any fish. Oh my God, another one. Off the spinnerbait. I don't know what size fish we're in. Yeah, another nice fish. So I'm really trying to get some fish on some different lures. This is the, I'll have to check the video. I can't remember if this is the cast after that last fish I caught or if this is second cast, but threw pretty much in that same area. I threw that Rapala crankbait and the fish just destroy them spinnerbaits. Something about them, it's just my go-to lure. Them things absolutely annihilate these things. And what actually happened with that fish is I was running this actually on top of the lily pads and he actually hit this when it was just kind of skimming on the lily pads, which is common for them, which you really can't do that with a crankbait. So once I get out of this area, I'll go back to that crankbait, but for now I'm going to stick with a spinnerbait for a few casts and see if I can get another fish or two. All right, so there's too much grass on this next cast to throw that crankbait, so let's try the Whopper Plopper. This is the Whopper Plopper 90, I believe. I have it on a spinning rod just because all my other bait casting rods are tied up. What I'm going to do is run this right on the side of this weed patch here. All right, this will be a good test. I've hit both sides of this far weed patch here. And I'm actually going to cast over that and try to drag this right through them. I think I have a window I can come through. I'm going to stop that lure right in the middle of that lily pad patch. Huh. All right, so that was a thorough cast to that patch there. I cast that same patch with a spinnerbait. All right, doesn't seem to be anything on that one. All right, these next couple casts I think is going to be too shallow for this crankbait. So first cast I'm going to throw in there is going to be with this Whopper Plopper. It's normally a good place for bass. It's just too much weeds to run that crankbait through. All right, I'm going to do 3 casts. That was cast number 1. This is cast number 2. And, oh, there's a fish. Ah, it's a pickerel. That is not what I was looking for. Oh, he let go. Perfect. All right, so that was the first attention on the Whopper Plopper. Okay, so this is cast number 3. We'll say these Whopper Ploppers make some serious commotion. All right, that's the last cast in this immediate area I'm going to take with a Whopper Plopper. Oh, yep, there's a fish. All right, that fish hammered it. I think we have a nice bass. Nice bass off the Whopper Plopper. This is a medium action spinning rod I caught this fish on. All right, first fish off the Whopper Plopper. There we go. Nice blow up. You hit it right mid bait. Not as big as a spinnerbait bite, but came off that. That's the 90. So there's bait number 1 out of the way. I'm still gonna fish it, but I'm gonna actually probably throw that a few more times over there. All right, white fluke into the lily pads. See if there's anything hiding out in here. Yep, fish. First cast with a white fluke. Saw my line jump as soon as I put it down and this little guy was on it. Okay, just a little guy. Came off a white super fluke and about a foot of water, plus or minus. Some pretty heavy cover. Oh, something's coming for it. Yep. Got him. Ah, is that another pickerel? Ah, that's a pickerel. Perfect. Them things are a soft plastic nightmare. Them things will take a brand new soft plastic and shred them up in a hurry. All right, so there's absolutely no way to run that crankbait through here. No way to run that Whopper Plopper or even the spinnerbait through here. So I'm just hitting this area a few times before I move on to the next one. Oh, another pickerel. If this is going to be pickerel central, I'm going to get out of here. All right, I could fish this place all night, but I really want to try to get that crankbait knocked out of the way. I really like to get a fish or two off that. Oh, 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 there's a big fish in there. He didn't get the hook, he just grabbed the end of it. I don't know if he'll come back another time. Yep, yep. Oh, it's a pickerel. Come on. Pickerel. Hit it like a freight train. All right, I'm gonna hit the edge of this weed patch. That is normally a place I'd hit with a spinnerbait, but I'm gonna bring this Whopper Plopper through it and see if there's a bass hanging out there. Pickerel, get off that. That was a pickerel. Well, the pickerel love this. No question about that. This thing's a pickerel magnet. Oh, yeah, fish on it. I bet that's a pickerel. Yep, pickerel. That's about all I can do with the Whopper Plopper right here. And I can't do anything with the crankbait right here. So we're gonna do a few casts with a spinnerbait and a few with a fluke. Even a little too much grass for the spinnerbait. I'm flying through this place way faster than I normally would for two reasons, because I only have 2 hours. And I kind of want to get to a place where I can use that crankbait a little better. I don't have high hopes on that crankbait after running it the first few times, just because it didn't have much vibration at all, which is something I really look for in a lure. Something's on it. Something came from about 10 feet away. Wouldn't grab my line though. Yep, got him. That feels like a decent fish. Yeah, nice bass. Nice bass. Right in the weeds. All right, little guy, I gotta get you in. There we go. Nice bass. Just picked this guy up off the super fluke. As soon as this thing hit the water, I saw the V from about 10 feet away, and that fish hammered it. So right now, that's fish caught off of 3 different types of lures. Spinnerbait, couple off the Whopper Plopper, and that big super fluke. This is just a straight pearl white. I'm gonna do a couple more casts with a white fluke, then we're gonna head down the shoreline a ways. Oh no, is that a pickerel? Oh my God, that's probably a pickerel. That had to have been a pickerel. That thing hit it and was about 20 feet over in about a second. I didn't feel much weight to it. It was just moving fast. I bet it was probably a pickerel. Pickerel are notorious for that. Fish in there. I think I scared it though. I really had high hopes on this crankbait, but so far I'm not sold on it. Not a big fan of the action. All right, I gotta set that guy down. Oh, fish. There was like 4 fish coming after this. I doubt that'll show through the camera, but there was like 4 V's that instantly started coming towards this. Most likely pickerel would be my guess, but you never know. That's a little fish. Most likely a little pickerel. All right, this is gonna be a hike if I get a fish in there. Oh no, yep, there's a fish in there. Oh, thankfully it's a little guy. If that was a big one, that would have been impossible. Our next one possible to get out of. Oh, that was off the crankbait. I want to get this thing knocked out for the evening. I don't want to fish this thing any longer than I have to. That was a little fish, whatever it was, but all right, off to another spot. All right, I'm really gonna try to get a fish off this crankbait. I don't know if you guys can see it that well, but there's a lot of submerged cabbage weed right here. A little too much to throw anything with treble hooks in, so I'm gonna run the spinnerbait a few times and see if I can get anything. Yeah, there's a fish. Ooh, that's a nice, oh, that's a nice smallmouth. He tossed me though. That was off a white spinnerbait in about 4 or 5 feet of water. All right, nothing off that guy. I'm really struggling to get bit off that crankbait. Hey, Rice Star. Hey, Rice Star.
Hi.
How's it going, sweetie?
No, I'm just getting ready for bed and watching by our pieces of
Awesome. How was it with Emily?
Yeah.
What time did you guys bring her home? What time did you guys bring her home?
7.
Nice. Did you guys... Yep. Oh, fish. All right, I gotta let you go, Rye.
Okay.
Love you. Bye-bye. All right. I was just saying goodnight to my daughter. This is the first fish that's actually committed to this crankbait. It looks to be a nice smallmouth. And I hope this fish stays pinned. It's about 7:45. Stay hooked, baby, stay hooked. Yes, got one off the crankbait. Got one off the crankbait. Now this is not gonna be fun. Nothing worse than treble hooks in a small fish's mouth. Here we go. All right, guys, finally got one off this crankbait. I'm in probably 6 feet of water, plus or minus. That smallmouth came up and crushed it. I was just getting ready to pack it in for the night. I was just saying goodnight to my daughter. She's getting ready to go to bed, and that fish came up and hammered it. First impressions of this lure is I'm not sure if it's exactly going to fit my fishing style yet. It's a very soft running crankbait. I was hoping it had a little more thump to it, but it's pretty soft going through the water. But it's just about 7:45. I've been fishing this lure for about a half hour, and that's really the only fish that's committed to. I did have one hit off it earlier, and I completed the goal of the evening. My goals of the evening were to catch a fish off that crankbait and one off the Whopper Plopper. It's certainly not the best conditions. It's only 7:45. It's getting dark, and it just weren't a good topwater night. So the Whopper Plopper, I think, has some serious more potential than what I found this evening, but there was just too much wind to really fish that. So caught fish off the 2 lures I wanted to, and I'm thinking I'm probably going to end the video here. If I catch another fish, I'll put it in, but I'm thinking I'm pretty much done. So we're going to wrap it up for this one, and we'll see you guys on the next one.